Coming to you live at the Newell household, we have Morgan Newell going to put on an amazing speech.
My specific purpose of this speech is to inform the audience of the differences between type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Today, there are many people who do not know the differences between type 1 and type 2 diabetes. In reality, they are drastically different. Many people do not understand that type 1 diabetes, unlike type 2 diabetes, is preventable. Within my family, we can clearly demonstrate the differences. My mom was diagnosed at the age of 9 with type 1 diabetes. My uncle, my mom's brother, has always been overweight and has abused his body. He now suffers from type 2 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease, while type 2 diabetes is caused by lifestyle choices. Type 1 diabetes is when a person's pancreas stops producing insulin altogether and that person has to become solely reliant on synthetic insulins. Synthetic insulins are chemicals blended together in a laboratory. Both type 1 and type 2 diabetics must keep a watch on their blood glucose level for the treatment. Type 1 diabetics check their glucose level before eating a meal and then inject insulin based on their carb ratio. A carb ratio can take some time to determine once becoming diabetic. It can take several doctor's appointments and checkups to know what works best for each person. Although type 2 diabetics would benefit from checking their blood glucose level before eating meals, it is often not a requirement since insulin is not injected based on a carb ratio. Type 2 diabetics is treated by a previously set up amount of insulin either at morning or night, pills, or diet and exercise. Type 1 diabetics are typically diagnosed in the juvenile years, and type 2 diabetics are typically diagnosed later on in adulthood. For examples, my mother and my sister were both diagnosed at the age of 9 with type 1 diabetes, and my uncle was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in his 30s. Type 1 diabetes was formerly called juvenile onset diabetes, and about 7% of diabetics have type 1. Type 2 diabetes is typically diagnosed much later in adulthood and accounts for 93% of all diabetics. Although there are many differences, there are also some similarities. Both type 1 and type 2 diabetics need to eat right, exercise, and monitor their glucose levels. There are many factors that play a part in the differences of type 1 and type 2 diabetes. The cause of diagnosis, the treatment, and the age difference of diagnosis are the biggest factors. Education of the differences and a healthy lifestyle are the key factors to treating and recognizing the disease. Thank you.
Coming back to you live at the Newell household.